Yeah. Started?
Yes.
Okay. What's up, y'all? This is the one and only Mr. Royale, the Harlem Soul Child, representing hip hop in the raw, speaking to my good brother, Israel Doctrine. I was like trying to get you to give yourself a shout out. But yeah, just to get a couple of just to get some of the backstory as far as what got you into the book, actually, like to even get into a conscious journey. Like, what got you to start your journey as into Israel? What started that journey from Carl?
My journey started with Tupac Shakur. I'm a Tupac Shakur fan, or you can even say disciple. When I was very young, the song Trap was one of the first songs I ever heard. And it went from Tupac. It was a guy from Earl, Arkansas, rapping trap, but putting it in a Park and in Earl perspective. Buddy Young harassed me. He was the police chief, so he was put his girlfriend in there and stuff. Then I went and bought the tape, $5 at the liquor store. And I said, this is not his song, this is Tupac's song. Tupacalypse now. What's the name of the tape? And so that's how I started my journey on loving Tupac. Before then it was Brad Jordan, Mr. Scarface. So I was like, trap, good song. But Brenda Had a Baby was a more impactful song. Because Brenda didn't have no sense. And Brenda was getting molested by a cousin who didn't care to see if she got pregnant and all of it. These are the things that made me as a youngster put a kind of feeling in me that other people didn't have. Because I don't think they listen to Tupacalypse now. How he was talking about shooting the police, standing up, and all that Panther stuff that was in him that he was putting in them songs. But when I was young, listening to rap music was my thing. I would get my brother jukebox and just sit down and listen to it all day. And I fed this stuff in my spirit, in my soul, which makes me the man that I am today. This is how I got started in everything, listening to the revolutionary Tupac Shakur.
So that's what got your spark as far as the hip hop voice inside of the hip hop spirit, or the spirit of hip hop, and that kind of moves you into this whole like journey of, okay, I think this speaks to my soul. And then what got you into the Bible?
Well, Tupac, Black Jesus, that's the actual song. Black Jesus was the song that sparked, well, what is this Bible talking about? Because I always listen to rap music, and I always seen people 2 houses down from me going to church. I felt they was hypocrites, so I didn't want to go down there. I had an uncle, he did Sunday school and a lot of stuff. I would go down there, they would try to make me read passages and stuff out of the Daily Bread. I want to read it and stuff, so I never got into church. But the fact that I would be out gambling and at the night halls and stuff with all these people, and then wake up on a Sunday morning, walk out my door and see them all down at the church, like, well, he was just with an old girl last night, and I know he married, but he was this and that last night. So I had a sense of hypocrites in my head. These are hypocrites, and I'm not a hypocrite. I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that, and I ain't gonna play the middle ground. So I didn't mess with the Bible until I heard a man read it at Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Illinois. This is the place where the basketball players can go and they get ready for the game before they go to the United Center and play the Bulls. So a man read Revelations to me, and I was like, oh, I got to get into this book and learn it. Then my nephew came home saying, thus said the Lord, which indicated to me that the Lord speak through his Bible. Now that I have more understanding, he sent a Holy Spirit to you, or the Holy Spirit to you, to present his word to you, your heart, so you can learn it better. So I got into the Bible. and I went to the Israel of God. From the Israel of God, I went to the house of Jacob. From the house of Jacob, I went to the Church of Israel. Little belongs to me at the time. I thought they was just Bible Christians. Later on, the Israel of God come out and said they Hebrew Israelites. The Church of Israel said they Hebrew Israelites. I cut fellowship and ties with them.
You cut fellowship because they were Hebrew Israelites? Why is that?
I can't run with Hebrew Israelites. In the Bible, it's called being unequally yoked. Though I learned a lot from them, and I was pretty much yoked with them as a youngster, because I was totally ignorant. But as I got older, it started with Israel, the Church of Jesus. The brother name was Marlon. This is where I became an elder. He would put Hebrew Israelites in titles, and I would be like, I wouldn't do that. He heard me. We didn't really talk about it, but as time went on, my mother got sick. I came to Arkansas to take care of her. And when I came to Arkansas, you took my name off the eldership and my picture off the wall. So I no longer had ties with the church. I was in Arkansas, always doing my own thing independently on Blog Talk Radio and eventually YouTube.
Okay, so now you get to the YouTube, and what draws your attention to Sarnetta's channel?
Well, I become a member of the conscious community because Polite and Sarnetta went messing with some Hebrew Israelites, the ISUPK. Now, this draws my interest because I'm an Israelite and I deal with Israel doctrine in any shape, form, or fashion that is presented. Now, I have my own do's and don'ts. Like, I don't deal with other books but the KJV. That's a do, and that's a don't. Don't deal with them other books, but deal with the KJV. But listening to ISUPK and stuff and seeing how ignorant they was at the time, I said, those brothers are not Israelites. They're Hebrew Israelites. My conscience is starting to wake up to the fact that the term Hebrew Israelite is not in the Bible, and people out here calling themselves Hebrew Israelites under a false term. And the comedics are so ignorant that they will not even correct them. But you don't expect your enemy to correct you. So I became a reformer then. And if it ain't Israel, it don't fly with me.
Okay, so you already distinguished the line between Hebrew Israelite and Israelite. And as you take your journey into the YouTube community and you come across Sarnetta, with his content that he was posting with Brother Polite, banging on ISUPK, and you wind up with conversations dealing with him, and because I'm trying to get to the point where you actually was leaving comments, or you joined some of the blogs with some of the.
I actually became a takeover person. It started with the Ra Squad on Blog Talk. I took over their platform. I was one of their biggest collaborators. They needed someone to argue with and fight, and I was that punching dummy. I would go there, and if you can knock my head off, we finna get it in. So the Real Black Atheist, the young dude, Chris Harris, and all these, I would get it in with all the Ra Squad. And then I made a name for myself because I became the opposition to them, which caused Unc to go lie to Sarnetta and tell him I was talking about him, because he want to cause friction between me and Sarnetta, because at this time I ended up on Sarnetta's. And once I ended up on Sarnetta's, they said, he done took a political position and he will have power. So let's cause division between them two. And Unc went and lied to him and said I was talking about him and talking about WH2TB to cause division. Me and Sarnetta been at odds ever since, but since he's an Aries and I'm an Aries, it's a respectful conflict.
And almost expected at this point. So now you have you wind up with this back and forth with Sarnetta because I guess when I wind up getting in contact with you, or you and I wind up having our little brief conversation early on, and I give you the shout out on Sarnetta, and he almost cringed, like, why are you saying his name? But from there we kind of like built a cool relationship. So what winds up okay, so you from there you wind up going back and forth with him, and you're saying from that conversation and from that situation, you wind up not really
a rocky relationship. That's what happened. Right. After introduced the lie that me and Sarnetta are opposites. I said something about him and stuff. Now the conversation or our interactions is rocky, though he interact with me a lot.
Mm-hmm. So rocky. How do you wind up going from dealing with Sarnetta and his rocky relationship that you had with him, and to get into a point where you wind up engaging in this whole Africa Bambaataa conversation?
Well,
how did that happen?
Sarnetta and Troy Start to Rain are the main two people that brought her son Camel out. And since I don't have a relationship with Troy Start to Rain, but a relationship with Sarnetta, people don't know how to deal with it, because Sarnetta eventually comes on my side. Why? Because when I spoke to her son Camel, he was talking about killing Sarnetta in Africa Bambaataa. He was talking about murder. I have the original audio of that when he started talking about Bambaataa, but before Bambaataa, he was speaking on Sarnetta and saying he would murder him. So eventually I come out on 6 Dynasty, a Money Wisdom channel, and tell this. But a Money Wisdom is so in love with her son Camel, he started attacking me. He throws me off the channel, and then Sarnetta comes on and him and her son get into it. This is the makings of what happened to that boy.
Okay, so as they're going at it now, again, obviously, your relationship with Sarnetta is still rocky, but like you said, he sides with you, and then you get to a point where you, I guess, your consistency on the conversation makes its imprint on the internet, to the point where you're saying some of your sayings and some of, like, from the YouTube streets and all of these, like these your persistency wind up making such
a start kicking in. What happened to that boy kicked in. My friend Dollar Skills and his friend Nerd was sitting in the side chat, and they was throwing the hashtag up there. So then it became a hashtag. So this is where me and my mods become superstars. Sarnetta is watching it, and so he started using his marketing ability, and he'll say, me and my mods